Hi guys, how are you? I am just going on because I got some Paul Rubens, these paints. This is the opera collection in Paul Rubens. Um, opera is neon. Opera is like the AKA word to neon and watercoloring. So these are Paul Rubens watercolors. Let's see. And I got them off Temu. I can't remember. I didn't pay more than $10 for them. So I am excited to try them. And yes, they will. I'm getting out some papers to play with too. Yes, they will fade over time or whatever, but I'm going to be using these mainly in collages and they'll be covered. So it won't matter. Do one on there. So I'm going to be making some fodder with it, collage fodder with just some papers that I have. And let's see. Now, there we go. Where is the comments? Well, I can't get to the comments right now. So if you're watching, hello. I'm just going to be having some fun. Ooh, I like that one too. And see what I can do with these. Oh, here's a good piece of watercolor paper that hasn't been colored on, so I can practice on those. Ooh, I have a mess in here. Let me see. Let me grab this. Okay, so first, these came tube form in their beautiful Paul Rubens box, which is absolutely lovely. There's 14 colors, and I was thrilled that none of them were black or white. Oh, I can't get it open. Hold on. I'm sitting too far away from my desk to get it open. Okay, so they came, Paul Rubens has awesome packaging. So here's their like cloth to protect them. Then this is what they look like. They came in these. And then I put them into half pans. I also got this palette with the half pans from Temu. And it was like $4. Usually those run about 12 to 15 on Amazon. So then Paul Rubens always sends you a sheet to put your watercolors on, to swatch them. And then they sent me a list of all of their watercolors. So I love having that. So let's see. I started at the yellow end. Well, this is how they came. So they came this way, and then we scup over here and go that way. I didn't fill my pan. Like some are still soft. I filled them 2 nights ago. So first what we'll do is, let me put these over here so I can make sure I'm getting the right colors with the right thing. I'm going to use my spritzer, and this is one of those like spray ones, that's a mister, not really a spritzer. And then, let's see, gray key right there. There, that's better. Not so shiny. And then I also ordered these Hu Tang, I think is how you say that. I don't think they say the Z brushes, and it's a set of just round, and they go from 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, and 2. So I have them all the way from 1 to 12. And they were supposed to come with these protectors on them. They all fell off except for that one, which is fine. The brushes look good. I'm going to start with, they say this is an 11. This is what an 8 looks like in most of my expensive watercolor brushes. But, and that's why I picked this size, even though they say it's 11. There are not standard sizes for watercolor brushes. Also, these don't feel like they have anything in them, but lots of times new brushes will come with some type of soap on them that's dried to protect the bristles. So you always want to kind of wash them off. And I'm washing this one off even though it didn't feel like there was anything on it. And I'm not losing bristles. I like that. This feels very light. I'm not kind of impressed with that, but that's okay. Let's see. So we're going to start with, it says 07 Opera Yellow, 017 Opera Yellow. Oops, I don't think that one got enough in it. Okay. Plus, I'm in Colorado, as you know, and ooh, they're re-wetting really nice. And I will, ooh, they are bright, aren't they? Whoa. So I'm just making a gradient from the darkest or the most saturated to the least. Whoa, it's not even showing as bright as it is on there. This is going to be fun. These aren't colors that I would ever use like on a day in a day out basis, which is fine. I don't have to use them. I got these for more fun and just to see what Temu, if they were, I figured they weren't real, give me more real Paul Reubens, but they were. They're just their neon colors, which is perfectly fine with me. These will be fun to have for collages and for, mixed media fodder. So that's cool. It's mostly a red palette, orange to red. You can't quite see the whole palette. So there's 14 colors. It goes from yellow, and they all call them opera whatever. So it's opera yellow, opera golden, opera orange red, opera orange, opera red light, opera red, opera rose, opera pink, opera peach. Those are all the warm. I mean, there isn't a great selection. There's only one green and 2 blues and 2 purples. So that's the one thing. But, you're going to get, these are all, let's see, I've done 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 5. Ooh, that one left a big crater in it when I stuck it down. Sorry, there was a hair, and it's not a hair from the brush. That right there is a dog hair from my big dog. So these colors are very saturated. And like I said, they're not going to be very permanent. They're called fugitive in watercolor. Oh, this one I'm sure I'll love. This is opera red, but look at that. That's not opera red. Is that really? No, that isn't. Oh, this order isn't the same. Darn it. This may be all messed up. Okay, let me see. Golden, orange, red, orange. So it's just opera rose that was wrong. So these are going to have a lot of probably dyes in there or whatever. So it's not going to pick up real well. It's fine. It doesn't have to. Oh, it came off pretty good for me. I'll fix it now. Let's see. So red should be there and opera rose should be there. So this is the reds. Oh, this is perfect. Now I'm not upset. This is a beautiful red. Lovely red. And then we'll go back to the pink. A rose by any other name. It's still a rose. There we go. So now we'll go up to this one. Let me make sure these are in order. So pink, peach, that's not a peach, violet, purple, ultramarine, blue, and green. Okay. So there we go. I'll turn it this way. So this pan or this palette, you fold it in and in. So you have all these spaces where you can either mix colors or you can add dollops of additional paint and then mix over on that side. Since these do come out, and I'm not going to probably be mixing, I'm going to take them out. The tray comes out. Oops. They're drying all right. It is so dry here in Colorado. And it's hysterical because it's done nothing but rain for days on end. Oh, yeah, I'm doing it this way. There we go. Nope, I lost my thing. Put this one back in. I just reuse my towels. Then I don't feel so bad about using them. This is supposed to be peach. There is no peach in that. In fact, that looks the same color as this. I'll have to see if I can. Let's go violet. Purple, yep. This looks like a true K-State purple. Yes, it is. K-State purple may even be a little darker, not quite so bright. I've taken most of the water out of my brush because I don't want it to be real runny. This is ultramarine. That's one of their standard colors. They're calling it opera ultramarine, so I don't know if they added something to it or not. All the information is in Mandarin, so I can't read it, and I haven't tried to translate it. Oh, this blue looks like Prussian. No, not Prussian. Prussian's got gray in it. It'll come to me maybe. Ooh, that green is definitely neon. So that's the color swatch of them all. Not bad. I mean, they're bright. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing subtle about these. Let me put that over there to dry. Perfect. Now, so I'm going to do some mark making on some pages, and we're going to play with it on this. I don't know what type of paper this is. It's a cold press, some kind. So I wanted to see if this one, that's supposed to be Opera Rose, and Peach are the same. Oh, no, there's a difference. Peach has more pink in it. Probably more violet in it. Oops, I put it in red. That's all right. We'll put red right here. Oh, so yeah, that's the same color. So these look almost identical, but they're not. There, I got more pink in there. But we'll see how those dry out because this is all one. I wonder if I added some yellow down here, could we get a... Oh, you know what? That's a nice yellow or orange. The yellow made a nice orange with that. So I really think that these two are alike, a lot alike. It's drying up. See, those two are an awful lot alike. So those are probably two colors we didn't need. I'm taking my glasses off, getting a sip of, trying to finish up my 32-ounce Arnold Palmer without anything in it. So that looks, I love that orange. So that means that I can tone these down some. Let's try purple. Whew, that's a real purple. And then I'm going to try this blue, the second one, which was lighter. And we're going to see how they mix here. Oh, yeah, that's going to bring in a nice purple. Let me add some more purple and some more blue. It's all a balancing. Oh, yeah, see, that darkens it up. Oh, yeah. Now, let's see. Did I make this color? That color, and then this was a little lighter of the two violets. So, oh, I did make a totally different color with that. Good. That's good to know. So when you first get paints, swatching them, the reason, like in college we swatched, was we had to take this paint color and then we had to dilute it into all these other colors and make a huge like grid and show the differences that each color made. And then we also had to do it by increments. So we had to go from the darkest or the purest shade like this, and then add a little water and you get this. Add a little bit more water and you get this. And then add a little bit more water and you get that. So we had to learn all those. And it's good to know all that. Now that I'm not in school, I swatch them. I swatch them because I like to keep my notebook that shows all the different colors I have and what different variations each company makes them in. But other than that, if I'm doing a huge painting or something, that's important, that I've planned all out, and done all that stuff too, I will keep like a piece of paper next to me that's the same paper as the painting, and then I'll use that as my testing and make sure I get the colors I want. So I'm just doing some mark making with this brush. Except that it's light, I must say that it is, I think I used this one, that it is not shedding anything. It makes great strokes. It holds the water. It holds a lot of water, which means it holds a lot of paint then too. And I'm just playing around to learn, I think, more about the brushes than how the paint works itself. Watercolor tends to react the same, no matter, throughout the line. So like I love my Paul Reubens. I have tons of them. And I would buy the whole line if I could afford it. And probably eventually someday I will have it. But they all kind of react the same because they're made by the same manufacturer, which means they use the same bindings and stuff in it. So the binding in the paint and the binding in the paper are the two things that dictate a paint, and then how much water you add to it. You have to remember that watercolor, this is not rainbow order, which might bother some of you. It's actually watercolor order, which goes from yellows to reds. I always put my oranges in between. Some people will put their oranges on the other side of red. It just depends on how you learned. I learned that it goes yellow, orange, red. Green is usually there, but they put their green last. I think that's because that was the only green they had. So I left it there. It doesn't bother me. It's the only green, and I probably don't know that I'll keep using it. They don't dry chalky that I'm seeing. Now on here, they look a little chalky where I watered them down, but that may be this paper more than it is like the actual paints. And these things, what I use them for is when I'm making something, tags or, something for journals or a collage. These papers I use in those things. So this is a coffee dyed paper. I got this from cateredpaper.com. You can go to Catered Paper in Etsy. They have a wonderful Etsy shop. And they're located here. They're in the metro area with me. I'm north and they're more west. But they see, by having coffee dye or tea dyed paper, it helps bring down the color value in that because they are transparent. So it brings down ooh, that one's really wet. Ooh. And it is bright. That is a neon as neon gets. Let's see. I'm going to put it up here. And that'll be that one. Oh, I don't have colors like this. The colors that I have that are bright like this are inks, which are a dye-based product. And these probably are, I don't know what pigments they have in them. They did not have the pigments listed. I emailed the company to find out. So it should be interesting to see if I get a response. I've always gotten responses in the past. So let's see, this one's going to be yellow. I do this a lot with them, a lot with my papers, because I like having the squares of color. And then I can use a square if I want it. Let's see, so next, yellow pink. I think this was called, we want red. What's that one called? Opera pink, maybe? I don't know. It's bright. The reason I have so much water on my thing is because these are kind of dried out since I sprayed them, and I'm not going to keep spraying them. Oopsie. I didn't want those two to touch, really. There we go. That's why you keep a thing. If I was doing a real painting and I was concerned about that, the magic erasers, you can use them, and they will, let's do this blue. All right. They will scrub it for you. Magic erasers are fun like that. And you cut them up. So you cut them up to use them. And then I think I'll put the last one as green again under the blue. This is just one way I like to do them. It gives you a pattern. It kind of commingles them. So this paper took it really well, actually. I mean, there is some gathering, but it'll flatten out once it dries. Okay, this is an old book page. You can see I think they call it docking or blocking, docking. I can't remember, but you can see that there. And let's see, I did slashes, I did squares. So why don't we do something different? Let's do some circlies. There wasn't much on that one. Oh, there. And there. We'll do another circly over here. My brush had, this one's still wet from when I did it. When I put them in here the other day. We're going to have one coming off here. There we go. They're so bright. It's still cracking me up. Oh, I'm going to have to do this because I'm annoyed with them doing that. Okay, so let's use this lighter purple. It's wet under there. And I will put, let's see, how about just a spiral? And I'll put one down here. And maybe one over here. There we go. That looks kind of cool. And you can see the colors are dulling down because of the color of the paper. And the red which was a true fire engine red, there's a dog here, is kind of turning more towards a neon-y color. Let's see, can I get any in here? I know I put water in you. Let's put some more in there. Okay, so I think I'll put just a regular circle and a regular circle and a regular circle. Circles aren't ever going to be exact when you're making them by hand. That's normal. Somebody might question how you got them so perfect. I think I need one right down here, maybe. There we go. I got a little fat on that side, but that's okay. Oh, got a crappily and happening over here. I found some maps, so I can take those out and work in my sketchbook after I'm done. I'll probably only be on an hour. I don't know. I just couldn't contain myself any longer. I wanted to play with these paints because they were so bright. And I was like, I can't imagine that they'll stay that bright. But they did, and I love it. I don't have anything like this. It's more fun, playful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I did odd in that. That's funny. I thought maybe I didn't. Let's see. Have I left out? Oh, I haven't done much green. Oh, it's wet. It's wet underneath the skin there. Let's see. I'll do little swirls. Let's see. This brush is so tiny for this is not an 11. Like I said, it's a 6, maybe an 8. But you'll get to know just by looking at the brushes which ones you like better and which ones you kind of think are your favorites to use. I like this size. Actually, these respond very well to the water. They hold up. They don't become stiff or flat, droopy because of the water. And I like that. And then they are pretty light, but I think I paid like $3 or $4 for them. For all of them, and I've paid that, for a cheap brush that doesn't respond as good as this one. Now we need some polka dots. How about we do blue? Let's do this blue. Okay, it's coming up. This is killing me, man. You're using a lot of water. Let's just do some polka dots. Well, they're not really polka dots because it makes a funny shape, but that's okay. Now, believe it or not, I don't count my polka dots when I'm putting them on. I stand back and look and see if and I'm looking up in my picture to see if there's a good movement. And this polka dot got a little, I think I need one over here. So I got some blues. So your eyes kind of move around. Go put one there. Then I'll change and we'll use another color for it. They do hold the paint really well. Let's see. I think we'll try this orange. I don't think I've used very much of it. And I'll do some more polka dots. Ooh, if I'm really careful, I can get a good polka dot. Ooh, see how fun that is? So it goes to show that even if you don't have a lot of money, if you don't mind waiting, I know Temu takes like a couple weeks to get to you. I highly recommend, if you don't want serious colors, after maybe you've gotten some of those, that you try these Reubens. They're called Paul Reubens, and I do highly recommend them for fun. I don't know what, I'm not going to paint something serious with them. Although I could paint flowers with them or like a circus scene with them. Okay, we're getting there. Let's add some, let's see. How about this color red? This is the Opera Rose. And instead of polka dots, I don't want to start there though. Maybe over. Kristen, don't think so much. I just wanted to make little tiny circles. I just didn't want them so close, but that's where the space is. So, and it'll be cut up. It's not like I'm putting this whole sheet down in one thing. I'm just trying to fill up some of the spaces that seem to be a little too vacant. Yeah, so we've had rain like every day in June, I think. I don't think it rained yesterday. So 3 out of 4 days it's rained. For sure. And it may have rained last night, yesterday evening, or the evening before. And they counted that. I don't know. There we go. I got bracelets on. Sorry, they're making noises. They're killing your ears if you have headphones in. I didn't mean to. I think that's about all with that color. And then I think I'm going to take this darker purple here and do some in between. Maybe I can do tiny swirls. I don't know. We'll see. That's a tiny swirl. That's a tiny. And if they overlap some of the colors, doesn't bother me. I just am doing it to kind of fill the page up with a design. I don't know if you guys watch Relax Cut Glue, but this would be a good one in one of her color pages or one of her. Oh, shoot. Oh, it landed the right way. Can I pick it up without getting any? Ah, there. Whew, that was close. It's like a piece of toast falling. Would it fall right or would it fall on the butter side? Let's see, right here. Anyway, she does lots of glue books and has fun with color. She has a black and white one that she's doing, that she's putting color in. So if you haven't watched her, I highly recommend her. Let's see. I also recommend, if you're into journaling, Gail Agostinelli, or even if you're into art stuff only, I recommend Carrie the Crafter. He does art. He does paintings and he does mixed media art. I really enjoy him. He lives in Wales, but I really enjoy him. So those are some of the ones. Let's see, it looks like maybe over here. I have that one there and that one there. They're just tiny, so you need more of them, of the color, to make an impact. So this brush, I'm shocked. I really am enjoying it. I'm getting used to the lighter weight of it, which for my hand, which I'm having problems with, it's probably better anyway. Okay. Let's put this one aside. I think that one's going to be my favorite out of the mark making. This one has dried down pretty much. Yeah. And so the colors you can see, it turned out pretty nice. I think what I'm going to do is turn it sideways. Remember, this is just all about playing and mark making. Let me move that. So it doesn't, we're just, let's see. I think I'll try and stick with the colors I used and then make the marks this way. I'm going to move that over a little bit. If I can remember the ones I used. If I don't, it's okay. And then it was this blue. I wish I could remember what color that is. It's on the tip of my tongue. There we go. And then that orange, I think, is this orange. So I shall put it here. And that may not have been it. I don't know. And here. I'm liking that. Let's see. That's the lighter purple first. So I'll put it down. I'm going to put it right here. There doesn't have to be an order. Oops, those are kind of big. Got a little too much of water on my brush for that. So let's see. About red. We'll put one here. Ooh, that's such a pretty red. And that's all I'm going to do for the red. And then that pink color, which was maybe this one. I'm not sure. It'll have two. It just fills in the gaps. And remember, this isn't going to stay as a whole piece anyway. And this is just for you to learn marks you like to make. I have a sketchbook I started that just has different doodle marks that I like to make. I call it my mark making book. And I keep that as a catalog of different marks that I know, or, maybe this is one that I use all the time or something like that. So I haven't done hearts yet. So maybe we'll do some hearts. I love hearts. When I was in school, I had a teacher tell me that hearts weren't art. Flower and hearts were just cute, crafty things and not real art. And so for a long time, I kept them out of my stuff. I did flowers, but I kept like hearts and things like that out of my repertoire. And then I finally realized that she was a hell of a teacher, a professor, and I loved her, but she was wrong about that. Real art can have hearts in it. So I firmly believe that. And since I mostly make my money off my art, whether it's paintings or prints or jewelry, either silversmithing or beads, that I think that I'm qualified enough to say hearts can be in real art. One of my favorite posters I had growing up on my wall was a heart, and it had all different colors, and then it was a big heart, and it got smaller and smaller as it went to the center. It was made out of words, positive words and stuff and sayings. And I really liked that poster. I don't know whatever happened to it. I have a box of stuff somewhere that my mom, it has like my 4-H medals and my swimming ribbons and swimming medals and all that kind of stuff from high school. I don't know where that box is, but maybe that's rolled up in there, because I have a huge bulletin board to my right in here that this one was actually, I don't remember if it was mine or my sister's, but my aunt and uncle always gave us really cool presents that they had made. And they made us this bulletin board that's like 4 feet by 2.5 feet. And I remember they hid them in places in their house for that Christmas. And we had to do like a hunt for them. And my daughters had it in her room, and then my son had it in his. And then I took it back, and it's a divider, like a cubicle divider here in my office between my two sides. Where I do this, where I'm doing this right now, but where I also have all my filming stuff, versus that side, which has all my like silversmithing and stuff over there. I don't know. I think that's good enough with that color. Then let's do bright red. Haven't done much of that one. That's because it keeps drying on me. So let's see what we can get with the red. Oh, good. That looks good. And I'm making all these hearts fairly the same. You don't have to do that. I have a friend. Her name is Kim Hessen, who her middle name is a J too. So we're both KJH. And I met her years ago, went through Instagram on my art. And she is marvelous to follow on Instagram, because she does mark making like nobody's business. And she does, right now she's doing the iCAD. So it's the index cards challenge. And she makes her hearts like, let me see. She puts a thing down here and a thing down there. And then she kind of pulls them in like that. That's how she makes them. I was watching her. She did a heart challenge, I think. And she did like 40 days of it, or 50. She does like 100-day challenges. Only I noticed iCAD was only 60 days, 61 days this year, because it's just June and July, I guess. Let's see. Did I do this color? I don't know. I think I did. It doesn't really matter. We'll just add some more. And I'm not worrying about mixing colors because I don't really care to on this. You know, if it was something I knew was going to be forever. Let's see who's going on. Beth in 30 minutes. Oh, that'll be about perfect. I'll be going off. So Beth is Grand Old Things, I think is what it is called. She's wonderful. She sells glass and jewelry. And she usually has Sabrina or Kim or somebody with her. Lots of different people. So she's fun to watch. Even if you don't buy anything when you watch auctions, you can learn a lot from them. Which is how I started out years ago. I would go to auctions and learn. And then I worked for an auction house for a while. I did some of their appraising of costume and real jewelry, sterling jewelry, silver jewelry, alpaca, that kind of stuff. So I learned a lot from that job. I didn't do it very long because I got a real job. You know, I finished college and got a job. I did that job and while I was working and doing my internship at a developmental disabled place. I set up an art therapy thing for them. And they're still doing it. And they do internships with the art therapy program at K-State now. So that was one of my prouder things. They also, I also set up a food drive in Denver for veterans. That was the last job. It was with AmeriCorps, which is like the Peace Corps, only it's on American soil. And I hadn't worked with veterans, so they had a position open with Soldiers Angels through the AmeriCorps program. And so I did that, and I started the food drive or the food bank for veterans, and it feeds between 200 and 250 vet families every month. And that's still going by Soldiers Angels. So I'm proud of that one. I liked getting to learn the VA system. My sister runs the informatics part of it for, I don't know what part of the VA, but she's like third in command. She's a physician. She's an internist. And then she got her certificate in informatics and does that for the VA. So I kind of understand the things she talks about now. Oh, I kind of really like that. That's pretty. Let's see. How much time do I have? How much have I been on? Hi, Pam. How are you? I can't. It won't show me my thing on live, the chat. So I forget to do that. These colors are all neon colors by Paul Reuben. And I got it from Temu. So here's this one that we did. That looks fairly dry. This one that we did. I like this one. It's still wet. That one. There's some pools. And then this one's almost dry. So I did 4 of those. Let's go back here. This dried. Oh, no. It's still wet some. But it's almost dry. Bear, what are you doing? You don't fit over here. I don't like the way this swatch turned out. So we're just going to add to it some. Here we go. There, that gives a much better idea. So that's what the colors look like swatched out. They're pretty good. I kind of enjoyed these colors. It is definitely not a color palette that I will use. Oh, I do have one more thing I was going to do with it. The reason I wanted to see it is because I've been playing with, let's put this over there so I can see it. We're going to move you back up. Sitting there. So I have these from last Monday that I did, and some of the colors got kind of washed out. So I'm going to go back in and add some color because this is neon. So I could go back in and add some of the color to some of them. It looks like I had a pink streak right here for some reason. And that looks weird. So we'll go ahead and add a pink stripe here. Now where the white is, that was done with, it's not actually white, it's kind of a cream color. And that was done with an acrylic pen. That did help a lot though. Oops, and some of this isn't done with permanent markers. So I don't want to wet it too much. I forgot about that. But I did add some of that in. I think this green is not the right color green, so I won't do that. This one got really dull. That was the bookmark. I made like 4 ATCs, 3 tags, and a bookmark out of one piece of paper. Let's see. I think maybe we'll add this color here. It's closer to that pink. And this one kind of got dulled out too. See how the colors kind of dulled? And I want them to be bright and fresh. So you can always, I use archival ink for my stamps. So these stamps are archival. Oh, I got some stamps from Temu too. And you can't really see them from the picture, and I don't enlarge it because I order on my phone, which isn't the way you should do it. Don't do it that way, girls. You should look and read and all that. But the stamps were like $2 for a stamp. So I wasn't really concerned about the price too bad. And I like the way that's looking. Here, we'll add some more up there. Okay, so that one's going to dry. This one needs it badly. And so I think it's a dupe on a Tim Holtz one with the number 5 and stuff. I don't know. I don't really know that much Tim Holtz stuff because that just isn't my thing. I just know a little bit. And I kind of feel bad buying a dupe of somebody's because obviously they stole it. They misappropriated the designs through. Thanks, Pam. I'm glad. I'm not really that entertaining tonight, but I did want to play. So I thought, why not turn it on? I need some watch hours before I can get monetized. So, okay, see this part right here is really dull. And since I don't have the bright green out, I'm going to make it pink. But so I feel kind of bad that they're a Tim Holtz dupe. I wouldn't advocate that. They steal things from artists, but if it happened, it wasn't on purpose. So I wasn't trying to do that. This one's horrible. Look, all the colors got lost and muddied in that. Okay, so let's see how this is going to react. Don't know because I don't know where I put the non-permanent pins. I didn't have a permanent one in here, and so I knew it needed color, so I just went ahead and used it. So don't ever be afraid to go back and play with things. Everything doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Even if you want it to be, it's not going to be. And even if it's something you don't like, you'll learn from it. And that's important. And in art therapy, it isn't the piece of art that matters, it's the process. That's the goal, is the process and what you get out of it, not what you've made. It's fun to have something that you make. I'm going to do some splatter on here. Which one? Let's use this one. Okay, this brush doesn't splatter so well with just my hand. That's okay. It's not what you make as so much as the process and learning about yourself and about the materials when you're doing art therapy. And I am a person that I want it to turn out perfect every time. So playing like this is really good for me because I don't play so well. I'm not a good player. I never have been. I'm a type A personality. So in art, that can get you sometimes. There we go. So this one, I'm going to do the splattering on this one too. So usually you can hit something solid and get much, oh yes. There. I got some splatter on there. You can't see it, I don't think. See? It's splattered. Pink and green. These two colors of pink and green are like my favorites. I like a fresh lime or, you know, Granny Smith apple green or new grass green. That's more of my style. And then I love bright pink with it. So, and that's how I paint, even with like real paints that, you know, are archival and everything. I paint bright. I've got a little too much on it and there's no splattering. So I got one little thing. Okay, this one I really went to town on the splattering. I don't always splatter. I'm not like, that isn't something that I do a lot in my art, but I've noticed lately I've been doing a lot of it and I've been enjoying it more. So we all change as we grow and get older. So I don't know if that's what it has to do with or just that my style's changing, because I didn't used to splatter at all. But splattering is indicative or part of doing watercolor. Lots of people will say that. And lots of people say a watercolor isn't finished until there's some splatter. I don't necessarily believe that, but I don't always follow the rules. Not with art. I'm a rule follower in general, but with art, I tend not to be quite as much. So, see, it's drying down duller. If you were afraid it was going to be bright neon the whole time. See, it's drying down duller. So, but I am going to have to go back in and add green. This just isn't holding the color the way I want it to. Typically with watercolor, you're always going to get a lighter dry than you have. So that's typical. Let's see. So I helped move these on. This one needs some green because there's a lot of pink on that. So that project is probably pretty close to being done. And we did all those other papers. So my critique of these Paul Reuben, is it this pan? These Paul Reuben opera colors is I love them. I don't know that they're practical, but they're fun. So they come in tubes, remember? They come in this. Oops, I knocked my ruler off. They come in tubes, and then you put them into half pans. And I did buy some mini pans, which are like 2.5 of a half pan, and then 5 to make a large pan. And I did get a cheaper set of watercolors. I don't really have I don't think I have a palette that will hold these 12. There's 24 in here. And they come as tubes also. This is Marie's. These are probably very student grade. So I'll have to, I think though, I'm just going to use like an Altoid 10 or something and put 24 of these minis in and then do these. But I will probably do that tomorrow night on my weekly arting. So let's close this up so I don't get it up. Let's see this. I'm going to close this box up. I did have, when I wasn't a mess like I am right now, I had a place for all my watercolors, and I keep them separated. People do it different ways. I originally had them separated by maker. So all the Reubens, all the Daniel Smiths, whatever brand they were, I separate them that way. And I have them in clear containers, or like clear acrylic containers. But I have an awful lot of paints now, and I'm not sure that's the best way. I know lots of people will just do them by color. So all the yellows in one, all the reds, that way. And that may be what I start doing. I don't know. I kind of like to have my differences because I know which paints I like the best and which ones I don't. So I put those back in there, and I'll label this. I do not have a silver or a gold. Oh, I do have a silver. Oh, the silver's huge though. I don't know. I'm going to put Paul. No, I'm going to put P-R Opera. Opera. I spelled it wrong. So I label them like that. And then when they're stacked up, I know which one's which. That is not very good. So I'll have to put a label maker on it. But thanks for joining me and playing tonight. Let's see. I have my weekly bead boutique, virtual bead boutique on Thursdays, and it starts at noon Eastern. And then on Monday nights at 9:30 Mountain, which is 11:30 Eastern, I do an arting thing. And then I have a haul to put up. I'm going to do a whole Temu art haul, and it'll show these paints, the brushes I used, and those other paints I bought. And then I have another set of paint I bought, and then stencils. And I think that's it for the art part of it. So I will, and I got a t-shirt, but I've gotten 2 pair of shoes from them and two shirts from them, and I love them all. So I highly recommend them for that. And then let's see, if you need anything, if you have any questions about the stuff or you need a direct link, just put a comment below or email me at designsanddoovers@gmail.com, and I will do my best to get that out to you. Thank you all for coming in tonight, and have a good evening. Have a great week.